Welcome back to another video on the channel. After my previous video, a lot of people wanted to see exactly how I farm all these different airdrops on Solana because, as you know, it's airdrop season right now. Things are going pretty nuts. We've already seen some absolutely massive airdrops, but there are so many to come. So to make sure you don't miss out on any future airdrops like these ones, I want to show you exactly how I farm these different airdrops, as well as just go over some of the most highly anticipated ones and the ones with the most potential. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to share some alpha for you guys that not a lot of people are paying attention to, so you can make even more money. If you enjoy the content, obviously smash a like, subscribe down below, follow me over on Twitter, check out the Discord server down below in the description. But with that said, let's dive straight into it. Alright, to quickly go over some of the most popular ones, the first three I want to showcase is Camino Finance, which is a lending, liquidity, and leverage venue. You have another similar platform called Marginfi, as well as Drift Protocol. The reason I want to showcase these three all at once is because I kind of use all three of them and combine the three of them to maximize how I farm the airdrops for these guys, because all of these three protocols are very likely to have airdrops coming in the next few months, and they are three of the most highly anticipated ones. If you are active on Twitter and follow people doing airdrops, you have probably heard about these three protocols. And the way these airdrops work is basically you get airdropped their tokens once they launch the token and get rewarded by essentially using their protocols. And obviously these are like lending and borrowing platforms, so you can bridge on Marginfi, stake, swap, but also lend and borrow. Similar on Drift, you can trade tokens, but you can also borrow and lend, as well as do some staking and different things. And basically the same on Camino Finance with a couple extra features as well. And you will get rewarded by just using these different platforms. So how exactly can you utilize all these different things at once with as little liquidity or Solana as possible? So I want to show you an example of how I did it in one of my wallets, and one of the most popular ways to do it that I've seen from different Twitter profile, etc. So it all starts on Marinade Finance. Now these guys already have a token, so this isn't actually airdrop farming, but what you do is you go to liquid staking. Liquid staking basically just means that you stake your tokens, lock up your tokens, but in exchange you get MSOL, which is Marinade Finance own Solana. So you lock up your actual Solana, but then you get MSOL back, meaning that's why it's called liquid staking. Basically you get liquidity while staking your assets. So you earn 8.75% on your tokens while still getting some liquidity back in MSOL that you can use on different protocols. So you go to liquid staking, you make sure it's set on liquid, you stake however much Solana you want on this wallet. For example, I only did 4.5 Solana. I got 3.9 MSOL back because MSOL is worth a little bit more than the regular Solana token. Now here's where it might get a bit complicated, especially if you haven't done any airdrop farming previously, but I promise you it's not actually that hard. If you just follow these instructions and just play around with it, you should get the hang of it pretty easily and kind of get a better understanding of how it actually works. So with the MSOL that I just got from Marinade Finance after staking my Solana, I go into Drift Protocol and I lend out my MSOL. So as you can see, I have lent out 3.9 MSOL right here, basically just using their protocol to get points to hopefully qualify me for their airdrop. And then after I have lent the MSOL, I go to borrow, and as you can see, I have already borrowed BSOL, just a different version of MSOL, but instead I do BSOL because you can't lend and borrow the same asset. So I borrowed BSOL from Drift Protocol, so now I have both lent and borrowed assets on Drift Protocol, hopefully qualifying this wallet for their airdrop. It will obviously depend a bit on like how much liquidity you actually provide, how big sums you are playing with, but as I showed you on this wallet, I only started with 4.5 SOL. You can do less as well. So I was able to borrow 1.7 BSOL. What I then did, went over to Margin Finance and I lent out my BSOL. Right here you can see 1.7 BSOL lent out to the Marginfi protocol. Then I went to borrow and I borrowed JITO-SOL this time, just a different version of BSOL and MSOL, but as I told you, you can't lend and borrow the same asset, so I decided to lend JITO-SOL. I was able to borrow 0.83 JITO-SOL, which I then brought over to Camino Finance. I went to liquidity, and you have all of these different vaults. You can provide liquidity to different pairs, whatever you feel like, but I decided to go for JITO-SOL to SOL. So if I go to my position, you can see that I provided my JITO-SOL 0.8 Solana there, as as well as 0.77 normal Solana tokens. So I provide liquidity to both sides of the pair. Net value of $130, and now I have also utilized the Camino protocol. So essentially it all starts from 4.5 Solana on Marinade Finance, and you then get to lend and borrow through all these different protocols and rack up points to hopefully get you eligible for all these different airdrops. Might sound complicated, but try to watch through it again. It's actually not that bad. If you are completely new to Solana DeFi, it might be a bit complicated, but just play around with it with small sums and you'll quickly get the hang of it. Now do note that with this strategy, I only use a certain amount of the different features on these protocols. Like you can easily get even more points on Camino by using these multiply features, the long and short feature on their platform, as well as borrowing and lending on Camino as well, like we did on Drift and Marginfi. Drift is obviously also a perpetual DEX, so you can trade perpetuals, leverage trading basically on their platform as well. You can make more points by doing that. So whenever I want to enter a Solana long or short, I try to make sure to use these different DEXs instead of centralized exchanges so I can actually gather points on Drift protocol. So I have entered a few different longs and shorts on Drift as well. And on Marginfi as well, you can get more points by bridging and swapping. You get the point. The more money you actually use on these protocols and the more features you use, the more points you will gather and the bigger the airdrop you will most likely get. All right, so those were maybe the 3 most known airdrop to farm on Solana and how I go about actually farming them. But there are a lot more potential airdrops to basically know about. You have, first of all, Phantom. If you are active in Solana, you probably already have a Phantom wallet, the most popular wallet on Solana. Basically, just by using their wallet, you will probably be eligible for their potential upcoming airdrop. Nothing is confirmed, but there has been a lot of rumors of Phantom releasing their own token, which would be massive, obviously, for the ecosystem and would be probably valued quite high. Extra things to earn more points for this one is using the swapping feature integrated in the Phantom wallet, as well as the new bridge feature where you can bridge between Polygon, Ethereum, and Solana. Now the next one I have to mention obviously is a Jupiter exchange. This one is super known, and the snapshot for the first drop have actually been taken. They announced yesterday that this airdrop is coming in early January. The token is already trading at $0.6 and people are literally getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of tokens. So this is going to be an absolutely massive airdrop, probably going to trade at $2 billion market cap straight out the gate, which is absolutely massive. As I said, the first snapshot has been taken, but they have announced that this is only 1 out of 4 airdrops. So you still have a chance to be eligible for the remaining 3 airdrops. Basically, the way you get eligible for this one is just by using their protocol, use their swap feature, use their limit order feature, DCA feature, as well as bridge and perpetual. Maybe especially perpetual because that is their newest feature. So they might add more value into the people that actually use that feature. But basically, just by using their platform, you will probably be eligible for these future drops. And this is obviously going to be potentially the biggest, definitely one of the biggest airdrops we've seen on Solana. So this one is definitely worth doing as well. Next up, we have Tensor, obviously the biggest marketplace on Solana right now. Just by using Tensor, using their platform, selling and buying NFTs and stuff like that, you will earn points on Tensor on their platform to make you eligible for their future airdrop. I assume that Tensor will do an airdrop as well. There has been a lot of rumors about it, but nothing is confirmed yet, so we do not know. But another rumored airdrop that would be pretty massive for the ecosystem. Tensor already have points on their platform. I assume those points will get linked to an airdrop, but at the end of the day, nothing is confirmed. Another really interesting protocol that will potentially do a future airdrop, it is rumored, not confirmed, but it is very likely, is Parcel, which is basically a protocol where you can trade real estate. So you can long and short different real estate markets. Really interesting. They have been featured in different like news media and stuff in the US and have actually become really popular in the real world, not only the crypto space, which is why I think this one can also do extremely well. Again, the way to be eligible for this airdrop is to just use their platform, try to trade some real estate markets. A super interesting protocol that is also worth looking into. Obviously, if you're new to all this, I don't recommend you to do all of these things at once, all these different protocols. Maybe focused on only a few and get a good grasp of how it actually works before you expand into all of these different protocols. Now, I do want to mention that I have referral links for Marginfi, Drift, as well as Parcel. By using these links, you will get more points when farming. I will get some points for referring you, and essentially it's a win-win situation for the both of us to make some extra money. So for Marginfi and Drift, there are actual links you can find down below in the description. For Parcel, you just have to go into the referral dashboard in the Parcel app and type in the code Ragnar. And lastly, I wanted to feature Wormhole, which is another super interesting one. And this one actually expands beyond Solana. It's not like Solana exclusive. This one will probably be massive if they release a token, which they are very likely to do. This isn't a direct protocol, so you can't actually like use Wormhole directly. You need to use other protocols that are utilizing the Wormhole technology to basically be eligible for the Wormhole airdrop. One of these protocols that utilizes Wormhole is Mayan Finance, as you can see, powered by Solana and Wormhole. And Mayan Finance might actually do an airdrop themselves as well, so you might kill two birds with one stone here by using this protocol, because you can be eligible for the Wormhole airdrop as well as the Mayan Finance airdrop, which could come, no one knows. Basically a cross-chain swap auction protocol. So by using these sorts of protocols that utilize Wormhole, you might be eligible for the Wormhole airdrop, which will probably be pretty big as well. Now, I did say I would leave you with some alpha at the end of the video, and the alpha is basically all the attention right now is in the Solana ecosystem. Everyone is farming Solana airdrops, but I can guarantee you that other blockchain protocols are seeing what's going on Solana right now, and they want a piece of the pie as well. So if you now start farming airdrops on different blockchains and get in before the masses, which is right now because all the attention and the masses are on Solana. So if you start looking into potential airdrops on, for example, Cosmos, on Near Protocol, potentially even Cardano, AVAX, places like Aptos as well are very likely to do similar stuff. So after you get set up and start using these different protocols on Solana, if you have extra time and want to put in some extra effort to potentially make a lot more money from airdrops, look into these other big blockchains and protocols on those blockchains that will potentially do an airdrop, and start farming those as well. Now, this video might have been pretty overwhelming if you're new to all of this, but it's honestly not that complicated. Basically, look into what protocols are likely to do airdrops and basically just use the protocols, use the different features that they have, be active with it. And if you haven't done it before, it is actually very valuable to just know how to do these different things. So I would definitely say that it's worth it. Now, with that said, let me know what you thought of these different protocols and airdrops that I showed you. Let me know if you understood exactly what I explained. I really hope that you did. Let me know what you want to see next on this channel. Do you want to see some airdrop farming on some of these other blockchains? Do you want to see some crypto gem tokens that I'm looking into, some NFTs maybe? Let me know down below in the comment section and I will get right on that. Now, with that said, follow me over on Twitter, join the Discord server down below in the description, and I will see you guys later. Peace.